So you run barefooted, Paul.
Yeah.
That's not all you do, though, is it? Tell us, what do you do for a living and stuff?
I work with young people, teenagers in care. Like, I work with them. I do nights with them. That's my job. But obviously, a lot of weekend working. Obviously, on social hours. Obviously, being nights. Basically, that's what I do for a living.
Awesome.
Spare time, obviously, I'm a mad Sheffield United fan, mad football fan. I like more sports, but football is the main one that I support. Yeah. I probably watch more sports if I had more time, but obviously it's time, isn't it?
It is. It's always time consuming, isn't it? Before we start this, Paul, because I got myself into a little bit of a flap there with the echoes going on and stuff. It's my first time actually doing this from this new office. So what I usually like to do is give the lads a bit of a shout out, let them know, big them up for what they've been doing in the group. So I'll quickly do that now, if you don't mind, pal. Cool, man. So hello, Fit Dad Club. Welcome to another podcast. I'm Coach Ben. If you're watching this, or you're in this group, you're probably a busy dad who wants to lose weight and get in shape to help maximise that little bit of family time that we actually get to enjoy. So I just want to give a quick shout to the guys who have been posting in the group this last week. So top of the list, first up, we've got Wayne Laird, who has done his first race of the year, and he has smashed a sub 10-hour time for the 47-mile ultra marathon called The Lap at Windermere. So awesome stuff, Wayne. Thank you very much for letting us post. For letting us know. Next up, we've got Adam Marshall, who's done the same race. He's also been round the lap at Windermere. Looks awesome, guys. I'm gonna do this myself. I'm gonna get it booked tonight, maybe. But brilliant work, guys. Excellent stuff. Thank you, Adam. He was also supported by the main man, Carl Wakeman, and that, who has done that in the past. Next up, we've got Martin Gray, who's done his first ever duathlon. He's done Carlisle Duathlon. He's done really well. He's come home second in his category. So well done, Martin. Brilliant stuff. Thanks for sharing, pal. We've got Paul Blade, who's there with us now. He's new to the group. He's always posting, keeping the inspiration up. Thank you, Paul. Brilliant stuff. He's been doing some of his barefooted runs again. He's got one in before his COVID jab, so he didn't miss a day of training. So brilliant stuff, Paul. Thank you, mate. We've got Ben Harper, who also back racing. He's happy to be back racing. He's been and done Carlisle Duathlon. Got the first race of the year out of the way. So excellent stuff. Thank you all very much for posting, guys. Keep them coming in. Keep picking each other up. It's what we're here for. Love to see it. So excellent. Now back to the main man of the evening, Mr. Paul the Barefoot Blade. Now, did I hear you say you're a Man United fan, or was I hearing stupidly wrong? It's Sheffield United, isn't it?
Yeah, it's United, but not Man United.
I was going to say, I know you're a Blade fan because you called the Blade.
United.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about your about your Sheffield time. What do you do there? Do you go? You're a regular?
Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, I haven't been for the last 18 months or whatever. I think the last game with Norwich, 2019, I think, or last year. But I know that it was not. I know we missed the full season Premier League football, which I'm not bothered. We quite rubbish anyway, haven't we? So not really missed much, but the last game with Norwich, the season, when we finished 9th, the season before, this season. So, but yeah, I go I don't go away. I don't go away no more. I used to when I was younger, but got to work now every other weekend. So every home match I'm there, that I fail.
And you work with young lads, eh?
Yeah, young lad, challenging behaviour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite rewarding.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy what I do. I'm quite lucky in that respect.
So what kind of things do you do with them? Do you do sporty things, or do you just take them out for days out and stuff?
Mainly, yeah, and stuff. It just basically because obviously they live there, so it's more like the home. You know what I mean? So obviously that way they live. So there's a lot of day-to-day things like shopping and things. We need to do things. We do sport, obviously. You know what I mean? Obviously, because obviously the lads. So what lads don't like running about and stuff. Yeah, we do stuff with them. Decent crack it there. I'm quite lucky. I actually quite enjoy what I do. Yeah. Can imagine me doing a job that I didn't enjoy. quite lucky. It's long hours, but obviously, like I just try and fit my training around working basically.
So what kind of hours is that?
It's normally nights. No, it's normally like 10 till 8 in the morning, 10 till 9 in the morning. Normally, that's my normal hours. But obviously I've done a few extra hours as well, like and stuff. So, but yeah, I've got quite. It's alright, but just like I sleep when I'm on nights, it's just like sleeping. That's a bit because I'll go for a running morning when I should be in bed, but I need to go that running morning to do my exercise. So I'll sacrifice sleep to exercise. But I'm quite alright. Not too bad on that.
Yeah.
I've never let sleep and go out for a run, and I've like loads of sleep and not go for a run.
Do you find it hard? Do you find it hard to run after nights?
The worst thing with anybody is getting out through the door anytime, not just night light and stuff. Like that's the hardest thing. The running, the fun part. Once you get outside that door, you're fine. But sometimes I just normally go. Just normally do it. I just like come in, get changed, and off I go. Because if I have to like sit or think about it, I probably like try and talk myself out, especially if I'm tired. But just like just like get it, do it, and then it's done.
Yeah.
But I know some days like when I'm off, like I need like early doors. If I don't, then I'm, If I don't, then I'll probably like try and put it off, and then I'm not going.
Yeah, it's true. It's very well said, that, Paul. I couldn't agree more. If I'm honest, that was it. Very well put.
No, it's not getting out through the door. I think that's for anybody there, not just me. I think anybody, that's the hardest part for people. Just getting out the door, like the motivation. They're always been there. When I get outside, I love it every time. Brilliant. Even in rain, snow, it wasn't it? Still love it.
Spot on, man. Spot on. So, apart from running, what other sports do you like?
Well, obviously football. I don't play football anymore. I used to when I was younger, but I don't play now. Football, all sports basically. I'm not a big fan of golf or anything like that. Golf or snooker. Not one, so it's not really my cup of tea, that. But apart from that, and I watch most sports as well. I've got time.
Cool.
But just time.
So, tell us a little bit about your running history then. All right, what's your running history in the past? I know you've ran for a bit. I've been through your profile. Obviously, I've seen loads of pictures of you.
Yeah, I've been running for 9 years. Started running in 2012. Well, I started training in 2011, and I lost 4 stone. Like straight, obviously just by running.
Straight away.
Just said to go. I don't remember losing it. It just went. It just like 1 minute I was like this, and then I just train like because I loved it. Train like when I got into it finally, I got confident to the gym. I went there every day and I loved it. So I've been running 9 years. I've done 4 marathons. Done Manchester, the Potteries Fall, Stratford, and Wolverhampton. I'm not broke 4 hours yet, but I've done 4 hours 12, which I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. But I don't think we'll probably do 4 hours again, but I'm not even probably going to try because the next one I'm planning on running next one barefoot through. Got to do 4 hours. Loads of half marathons. I think about 14 halves, about 30, so like 30 odd 10Ks, and 100 Portlands. So that's my own history. But I have been throughout the time. I have been struggling pretty more recently with chronic injuries. Like obviously, like I put my body quite up through the time harder than I should have. So, and one of the reasons why I obviously want to try barefoot running though, on the belief that if I'm running better, and it has happened, the injury situation has massively improved, which sounds crazy in a way. Take your shoes off, and you think you expect you obviously like to be more injured. Like so, actually improved my running loads by switching to barefoot running.
So where did you get the idea, Paul, if you don't mind me asking?
I've always wanted to try, but I never had the confidence to try it because I thought, like everybody else thought, it's crazy and bonkers, and people bonkers who do it. But did some research, like, and a lot of people around the world run barefoot even now. A lot of people like in other countries run with no shoes on. So and they run a lot more miles than me. So I did some research on it, and I just basically just said I've got nothing to lose. I'm injured all the time. Let it go. And I started in August, so I've been running since like August with no shoes on. So
right,
coming up to 35 miles so far. No shoes
so
on.
this is what I'm picturing, right? You've done your research. You're ready
Yeah.
to go for your first barefoot run, right? You've got your t-shirt on, you know, you got the cap on and that, the shorts are on. You stood at the door, you're ready to go out. You've got fuck all on your feet, right? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Like, is everyone going to laugh at me? The stone's going to fucking get me? What's going through your head? What happens when you see the first person? You got fuck all on.
First time I went around the local park, so I didn't feel too bad because there's quite a lot of grass there. And it was quite quiet because it was in the middle of the day, so I didn't see that many people. But I actually bought some shoes. When I was going to switch to barefoot, when I bought some like minimalist shoes, basically like barefoot, but I took them to the park and I didn't put them on. I'm going to actually try and run barefoot, see what it's like, and just gone from there.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I just adapted like that. It's like, I know the transition can take like a long time, but like from August to December, I ran an half marathon in December with no shoes on. From like transitioning in August. In December, it weren't that cold, it was about 7 degrees, it was quite nice.
Yeah.
And so I ran that, so it's been pretty like, just like duck to water, just like I don't know, it's weird, it's hard to explain, I just love it. My feet's adapted now and stuff, and you don't really, now it's just a norm to me, just like, I just don't go out in shoes, it's weird, people look at you, people say I've got no shoes on, but I'm not bothered.
That was my next kind of thought. So you're running down the road and that, do you get a lot of cars? Like, do you see them second looking and pointing and stuff?
When I run around Stoke, I do quite a lot because obviously it's a lot more busier. But if I run like on country lanes, it's quite quiet around there, so I don't see that many people, which is quite nice. You don't get people like trying to speak to you or saying what you got no shoes on. And the people look like more like shocked than you do, or like look like more grimacing, like look like they look in pain looking at you. They look like face like that. And honestly, it's not. Obviously, they've got some surfaces that I still struggle to run on at the moment, but getting better. Like farm travel, I haven't mastered that surface quite yet, but I'm getting better with surfaces I can run on. I can run on a lot more than when I first started.
Yeah.
But for me, like everything, like in a nice way, it's crazy, but in a nice way, and people say it's crazy in a nice way. Yeah. I don't have too many comments from people, really.
No, like it's a brave thing to do. I think it's fucking brilliant. Yeah. But right, so I want to fire a few questions at you from a few of the guys in the group that I've put this in when I've said about this. If anybody's live now, you can put a question in. I think I can see the screen there. So if you've got a question for Paul, please put it in. So Mario Holbrook has asked for, it's quite a good question, good guy Mario. He's asked for the reason that he started and the timeline on progressive transition from supportive trainers to running comfortably barefoot. So like, why did you start and how long did it take to get comfortable to barefoot? You know what I mean?
Why I started, because I had nothing to lose because I was injured all the time. And I thought, listen, like, I've got nothing to lose here trying this. I said, if I'm going to 4 foot run, it's either going to go one or two ways. I'm not going to be the same as the one before, not be able to struggling to run, or it's going to actually work. So that made me and probably injuries why. I've always been interested in it, but never really had the confidence to try. As for other point, I didn't transition through shoes. I literally went from padded trainers to barefoot because I bought shoes. I've got 4 pairs of shoes, barefoot, but I never wear them. I just thought, I don't know, just in the park, I just thought I'll just try to see what it actually like to run barefoot, and I thought it's not bad, this not like and stuff. I did a mile.
Yeah.
First couple of weeks, I still my calves really ached after, and my feet ached, and I had a few blisters and stuff. But apart from that, so weren't too bad. And then I say like probably about 3 months perhaps, which I think is not bad.
It's not really, is it? It's nothing in the grand scheme of things.
When you're barefoot running, if you obviously before that I used to be a massive heel striker, and I knew if I was running with no shoes on, I knew that I could not heel strike anymore because it hurt too much. But literally when I was getting to barefoot running, it was a whole new. As soon as like I started like running with no shoes on, my style just instantly changed. It had to, because it'd be too painful if I was banging me all the time on the floor.
Yeah,
it would have been too painful. So I just like literally like instantly ran better from like as soon as like, and obviously like you adapt your style as you get on, you know what works for you and stuff. And my style's like me 4 foot first and drop me after. When I first started, a bit like toey, a bit like on my tiptoes,
It's like
not dropping me heel. But now it's just like ball me foot, then drop me heel after, and that's quite effective, especially on long distances or something.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, my feet took probably about 3 months probably till I was running comfortably.
Cool. And how long have you been doing it now? A year, is it?
No, August started first week in August.
Oh, so we're getting on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting on. So okay, spot on. Thank you. Next question we got from Martin Gray. He said, how do you get started? I think you've answered that, and you've kind of answered that. And what kind of impact on the body? You know, why didn't you choose barefoot running shoes? But you have answered that. So basically, what kind of impact has it got on your body? Like, is it causing you any more injuries, anything like that? Or is it just...
Not it's improved all my injuries.
Improved all your injuries. What were your proper injuries? What were they?
I had a lot of I think it comes down for weak calves and weak shins. I had a lot of shin splints, but it was happening like quite regularly. What was happening like I run for a couple of days and then I'll have like 10 days off, and that was no good.
No.
And it just and then like and I had a lot of ankle pain as well, which all that stems from weak calves, doesn't it? So and it's only really I've carried on like I've learned more about the body and stuff, and actually barefoot running like big on your calves, and like because like my calf now are a lot more. In fact, my calves are probably in the best shape they've ever been in now running wise, because when you run barefoot, it's a double workout, getting like a strength workout in your calves and your feet, but also getting a cardio workout. Like I know I went to the gym a few weeks back and I lit like on the calf press. I managed to lift like nearly all the calf press, and I never ever built like ever before because like could be calves. So the impact for me has been positive. It's been really positive on the body. I've still got the slight issues, but not like they were. But when the chronic issues are going to be there, aren't they? But like I feel like it's been pudding how much I'm running now.
Did you try to strengthen them, or did you just go straight to the barefoot?
At the time, I didn't know how much impact it had on my calves, and for the first like couple of weeks, my calf used to wreck after like running. The calf was really, really sore, and obviously I did research it, and it says you need to really care for your calf when you start barefoot running though, because like your shoes like do your body's job basically. Your body's like actually doing like its own job instead of your shoes doing that job for your body. So it takes some time actually to get used to actually like your calf doing all the work. Like so it's for me like it. I know it can take longer than like 6 months, but or even up to a year old. But for me, it was quite comfortable. I thought it was alright and stuff. But even when I had pain, I didn't just like stop. I just carried on, and obviously my feet did and my body did adapt eventually to it. Well, quite soon actually. After for about 3 months, it took me like to me body, but I still have to watch my calf now. I've always like doing calf strengthening now, even like when I don't run and stuff like. It's like one of the things I do every day. If I walk upstairs, I'm always like doing like calf raises on stairs all the time just to keep them like in shape.
We had a question come in from Chris Wilkinson. Have you had any injuries underfoot? Must be glass and all sorts on your travels. Have you stood on Lego and that was bad enough?
Yeah. No, not really. I'm different areas where you run. Obviously, they've got more risk. If you run around Stoke, where I live, obviously they've got more risk than running around on the country lane. So I'm more careful. But no, I'm not stood on anything like glass or anything. Like I'm aware it's there, and I know you have to be careful and stuff. You do. I'm not saying it'll never happen. It probably will happen at some point. I know it will, because like you can't do like 500 miles barefoot and not really round the city. They're not really step on glass. But no, I haven't and stuff. And as my feet are getting more adapted and obviously more used to it, obviously the less like even the sharp stone now, you like not really like having that effect on me. Like man, my feet are fine. My feet don't look bad. They don't look like grommet feet or gremlins. They look quite normal.
Yeah.
Like my feet look like still like feet, you know what I mean? But underneath, like all the skin's hardened. You can feel like they are not massive like disgusting wise, but
yeah,
you can feel like or skin under my feet. But it's possible. It may happen at some point. It probably will happen at some point. But don't worry about it. Just need to be aware of it. That it can happen.
I've got one. It's quite immature, really. But I've got to ask: have you ever stood in dog shit?
Yes.
You have. Oh no!
One morning at 7:30, came out of the door. 7:30 in the morning, one Saturday morning. Got round this corner, and there it was. But luckily, it's been raining. So obviously, like puddles. So there's a puddle. So you quickly got into a puddle. It was like did my feet a little in full and carried on. So finally washed off in the puddle. Yeah, I've only done it the one.
Cool.
I've only done it the one. So yeah.
It must have been a bad one, that like. It must have been a bad one.
Well, I weren't interested over what can I do. But then on the walking in the house when I come back in. We weren't at least in bed off and I the shoe.
Wiping your feet on the grass.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, it happens, doesn't it? It happens and quite.
Yeah,
I can see it funny time it happens.
It was an immature question, but I'm glad I asked it because I wanted to know. I wanted to know. Yeah, cool.
In fact, that's that question more than last one if ever studying anything like that comes out of an animal.
So I think we've had another question come in here. So if I can just find it. But while I look for this question, I've got one written down here. It's from Ben Harper, and he's asked a couple that you've already answered. So have you got any plans to put trainers back on?
Not yet. I can never say never because I'm like that. I'm quite open-minded. And if I did, it would be minimalist shoes. It won't. I can't see me ever going back to wearing proper running shoes again. No, but I've only been running since Open. I've got quite a lot of things I would like to do barefoot before. Like I try and I would love to run a barefoot marathon. I would love to do 26.2 miles on bare feet. I think that would be quite a challenge for me.
Is that your target?
Yeah, won't be this year, I don't think, because I'm doing the Potter's Half Marathon in September for charity. But that's down Stoke. So even though I've done 30 miles before, it's a different challenge because it's 30 mile down Stoke-on-Trent, which is different than 30 mile on the country lane. Because obviously things on the floor and stuff and different surfaces. But no, I'll never say never. I'll never say never. I won't go back to wearing shoes. But at this moment in time, no, I've got too much would like to try and target to aim for being barefooted.
Yeah. So
I think.
Go on.
Sorry, I think more energy consuming as well running barefoot. I know running slower now than probably did in training though, but it seems to be more energy consuming. Like when I ran my half marathon, I felt great after. I did it. I felt physically great. As no half marathons I've ran in the past. I've had to struggle to come downstairs every morning. And I felt good in my body, you know what I mean? I felt really good after.
Yeah.
Like that, I haven't 30 miles, so.
Cool. So what kind of terrain are you running on mainly? Is it just road? Do you do any?
It's all road. I ran on, when I first started, I ran on a bit of grass and occasionally ran a bit of grass though, but I didn't like the grass because when I ran on it, it was been raining so horrible. It was all my foot gets sunk into grass. So it's mainly road and pavement that run all the time basically. But I said some roads are more challenging than others, surface wise. I know they got the Crew Park one like that. Obviously, that's the best surface to run on that. It's dead smooth, got no sturdy. So I think potentially I got a chance to run quite a good time there with no shoes on. Cool. Because it all determines sometimes what ground you run on. It's not how fast you can run. It's sometimes what ground you run on obviously determines what time you might get. For obvious reasons, because obviously certain surfaces you can't run as quick on like you would do with shoes on. But that don't bother me. I've got other goals to aim for now. So
yeah, is that what is the ultimate goal? The marathon, or would you say?
Barefoot marathon, yeah, I would. I would love to challenge some of my times with shoes on, but it'll have to be on the right surface. If I could obviously get a decent surface, I possibly could get the times that I did with shoes on. That'd be good as well. But I'm running Wimbledon as well. I'm running that with no shoes on in July. That's 10k Winslow 10K and winning that. But again, I don't know about that because I've been told it's okay, but people might tell you, but it might get there, it might be all gravel, which then I'm going to struggle. But obviously we'll get there, won't I? What it's like.
So
I'll still get a go anyway if it's on gravel.
the last thing I want to ask you, Paul, is if someone was to be starting barefoot running or really thinking about it, what are your top tips for them?
Top tips would be listen to your body. Would be obviously well, because if your calf's telling you something, listen to them. Again, from my point of view, I went straight from like padded shoes to barefoot, but my reason for doing that were because I was running badly before, and I didn't want to heel strike anymore. So obviously I couldn't heel strike because if heel strike better with no shoes, it would hurt too much.
Yeah.
So obviously people transition different. People like get shoes like every month or every 2 months and load the drop on the shoes. Everybody different, basically. Everybody different. Yeah, just basically that and stuff like that, and just enjoy it. Because people think you don't enjoy it, but I love it. I love it. And now for your transition, no better feeling than feeling your feet on the ground running. It's a feeling the ground you're running on. It's brilliant.
I will try it. I will try. I'm not saying when, but I will give it a go.
There are shoes out there. I mean, I ain't got to run barefoot. There are shoes that do the same job, but I just like I don't know why.
I would try it barefooted because I will always run in trainers. I've no ambition to run barefooted, but I will try it.
I'm not neither.
I would like to do it on a fell. I would like to run on grass up a fell, you know, wild and free, barefooted. That'll do me.
It's what works for the individuals. Like just because I love to see people like new running shoes and stuff. And I'm not all anti-shoe. Like if you're finding shoes and stuff and you're doing well in shoes, I'm wearing shoes. It's not an issue, is it? But just for me, just the fact were that the running home were bad, they were injured, so I decided to try something else. I probably wouldn't probably switch to barefoot running if running were going great in shoes. I'd probably still be running in shoes now. But
so, thank you very much, Paul. If you've got anything you want to add, mate, you can throw it in. But that's been absolutely brilliant, Paul.
I know in the groups on like some of the things, honestly, like so inspiring what people are doing in your group, and inspiring me and inspiring like hopefully everybody else. It's like sort of like bouncing off each other sort of effect because it's really inspiring. So just keep up with the work, everybody in the group. Keep on doing what you're doing.
You, Paul. Brilliant. And you keep it up as well. Keep us informed. If you want to give us like a weekly update on your escapades and all that, love to get a nice big post off you. So
yeah, I've had a couple of days rest now. I'll be back at probably Thursday or Friday or Saturday, I think. Thought I'd give me a couple of days rest because it's been pretty intense. Yeah. I've been like 3 weeks solid of being barefoot running even off. A few days off in between, so give me feet a couple of days, then I'll be back on it probably Friday or Saturday, I think. So I'll post probably then the next one.
Means. Thank you very much, Paul. You take care, mate. You've been a great support. Much appreciated, pal. You take care, mate.
Take care then.
Thank you, pal.
Cheers, bye. Bye-bye.